Some of the strongest people you know are barely holding themselves together, quietly. They laugh at the right times, answer your texts, show up looking fine. But underneath, something's been coming apart for a long time. And eventually, even they forget how much they're carrying. That's probably why some people go quiet and just stare at nothing. They're not zoning out. They're fighting something. A comment that never really left. A betrayal nobody owned up to. A small embarrassment that somehow left a permanent mark. Physical pain screams. Everyone helps. Emotional pain whispers, and whispers are dangerous because nobody hears them, so they stay. You can drown them out for a few hours. Music, noise, a smile you didn't mean. But the night comes back, and there you are again, alone, with a feeling that life keeps taking pieces of you it never gives back. That changes a person, makes them quieter, colder on the outside. Not evil, just tired. But people are stubborn, beautifully stubborn. Even after heartbreak, even after nights so loud with overthinking it feels like torture, they wake up and keep going anyway. Something in the human spirit just refuses to quit. Pain moves. It doesn't stay frozen forever, even when it feels like it will. Wounds scar over, slowly, painfully, but they do. One morning you wake up, and the thing that used to wreck your sleep barely has a grip on you. Not because you forgot it, you just got stronger than what used to consume you. What makes healing so confusing is that it never arrives all at once. No music swelling, no perfect sunrise. Sometimes it looks almost embarrassing, just surviving one more night, forcing yourself to eat when your chest feels hollow, staring at an old message thread, then finally putting the phone down. People think strength is loud. It isn't. Real strength is quiet, waking up exhausted and getting up anyway. There are people walking past you right now whose private thoughts alone would break someone else completely. That's why you never mock someone for being quiet. You don't know what they survived when no one was watching. Some people grow up because life sat them down over and over until they finally understood. People can vanish overnight. Promises evaporate. Someone can leave without explaining why. And the soul adjusts. Slowly, painfully, but it adjusts. One day the memories don't stab as deep. Your breathing gets lighter, and the darkness that used to terrify you, you can sit beside calmly. Not because you stopped caring, but because suffering taught you endurance. Hard seasons reveal you, how much you can survive without losing yourself. So if your chest feels heavy tonight, keep going quietly. Even this pain will weaken. It has to. Some nights are dangerous, not because of what's around you, but what's happening in your own head. The overthinking, the replaying. The mind gets cruel when it's exhausted, dragging old wounds up to stare at again. And the worst part? Half the time you blame yourself for things that were never fully your fault. You wonder if you were too much, too emotional, too forgiving. But sometimes you just handed your heart to people who never learned to hold something that fragile carefully. That's not weakness, that's a tragedy. Some people know exactly how to unravel someone emotionally, then act baffled when that person pulls away. As if pain leaves no marks. It does. After enough disappointment, you stop expecting things to last, because you've learned feelings in the moment aren't the same as feelings that stay. That's why broken people sometimes get calmer with time, not because life turned beautiful, but because exhaustion teaches acceptance. You stop fighting every memory, stop asking why on a loop. And strangely, that's when breathing gets easier. The chest still aches sometimes, It just doesn't run the whole show anymore. That quiet kind of progress matters more than people give it credit for. So if nobody's told you lately, I'm proud of the part of you that kept going while quietly falling apart inside. Some memories don't come back loudly. They hide in small things. An hour of the night, a song, a sentence someone says without knowing what it stirs in you. Not because you're weak, because you're human, not a machine. You can understand something logically and still ache from it completely. Life doesn't always hand you closure. Sometimes people vanish without apologizing, and somehow you keep going anyway. That's what makes the human spirit almost frightening in its strength. Even wrecked, it still looks for light. If you're still fighting your thoughts instead of surrendering to them, there's already strength in you. Maybe tired, maybe bruised, but strength. Sometimes the hardest fight in life isn't money or success. It's just staying emotionally alive. A deeply hurt person can smile normally while quietly bracing for abandonment every day. Nobody sees the war behind a calm face. Slowly you mature past expecting people to rescue you emotionally. That hurts at first, because everyone secretly wants to feel safe. But life teaches some of us to become our own shelter instead. That's why certain people get quieter with age. Not empty, careful. The stronger you get, the less anyone realizes how much pain it took to get there. Calm people aren't always peaceful people. Sometimes they've just survived enough chaos to stop reacting so loudly. That quiet has a history they've stopped explaining, because explaining pain over and over gets exhausting. So they carry it quietly, and the wound stops bleeding as hard, not because it disappeared, but because time teaches the heart to live around the scar. That's healing, not forgetting, just reaching a point where the memory doesn't run your breathing anymore. Even storms can't stay violent forever. So if your soul feels heavy tonight, hear this. The version of you suffering right now is not the last. There's another sadness nobody talks about, becoming unfamiliar to yourself. One day life has changed the way you laugh, the way you trust, how you hear someone say, "I'll stay." Not dramatic distance, quiet distance. You still smile, but somewhere inside you're standing a few steps back from everyone. That happens when a heart tires of disappointment, of loyalty given to people who were only ever temporary. Grief is strange, because sometimes you're not grieving the person. You're grieving who you were before the pain got in. The softer you. That innocence disappears quietly, not through one tragedy, but disappointment after disappointment, until the soul changes shape. You stop begging to be understood by people who never planned on listening. And strangely, that loneliness teaches you something. Painful wisdom, but wisdom. Everything moves. People move. Feelings move. Pain moves. I know some nights sadness feels physical. Your chest tightens for no reason. The same memory loops until you feel trapped in your own head. And still, look at you. Still here. Quiet endurance isn't weak. Some of the strongest people around you are the ones nobody notices. Fighting private battles while acting completely normal. Crying alone, then washing their face and going back out. That's real strength. Built in the dark, not on a stage. What scares people most isn't failure or the dark. It's being seen emotionally. The moment someone truly sees your pain, you're exposed, and exposure can feel dangerous. That's why hurting people hide behind jokes, behind constant distraction. The second they stop performing, The sadness catches up. Even broken routines rebuild themselves eventually. One day you'll catch yourself smiling for real again, out of nowhere. One day silence stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like relief. Those moments arrive quietly, just softness returning to places that felt permanently wrecked. Not flashy, just real. Rest actually matters. A tired heart needs rest, not constant pressure. Sometimes your heart isn't failing, it's just overwhelmed, and healing doesn't run on anyone's deadline. Maybe the kindest thing you can do right now is stop demanding perfection from a person who's hurting. You're allowed to heal gradually, allowed a bad night again. None of that erases your progress. It proves you're alive, and alive people heal too. Hopelessness lies to a tired mind, whispering this feeling will last forever. It won't. Storms always look endless from inside them. But the sky changes, and one morning you realize you survived something you once thought would destroy you. Becoming who you're meant to be is painful, and nobody says that honestly enough. Real growth looks ugly first. Confusion, isolation, sleepless nights. Before someone changes, something inside them usually breaks first. An illusion, an old version of who they thought they were. In that collapse, you feel lost, not weak, lost. Certainty feels safer than the unknown, even painful certainty. That's why some people stay stuck in the same cycle for years. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because it became familiar, and familiar pain can feel safer than uncertain peace. But you can't stay frozen forever. Eventually, the soul gets tired of surviving the same wound and wants real relief, not distraction, not numbing. That's why some exhausted people get quieter. Not because they stopped feeling, but because protecting their peace matters more than explaining their pain to people who were never going to understand. There's a point where over-explaining drains you, where trying to make someone emotionally unavailable finally get it drains you completely. So you stop. Not bitterness, self-preservation. That quiet withdrawal saves a lot of people, because not every misunderstanding deserves your desperation. That lesson protects you later, more intentional with your attention, more careful with your heart. And slowly peace stops feeling boring and starts feeling sacred. That's why healed people end up softer, not weaker, softer. Once you've survived your own darkness, you notice it in others too. And instead of judging it, you understand it. A hurting person doesn't always need a solution. Sometimes they just need someone who can see the weight they're carrying without shame attached. And if nobody's told you this in a while, your emotions aren't embarrassing. Your sadness isn't weakness. Your exhaustion doesn't make you a failure. You're doing the best you can, and that deserves compassion, especially from yourself. You're in silence. Joker.